So, I wanted to talk to you about the recent controversy in the Big Brother house with Ryan Thomas from Coronation Street and Roxanne Pallett from Emmerdale. Yeah, so I'm trying to contain the rage. I feel like we'll let the rage out as we have the conversation.
Let it flow through you, brother. Let it flow through you.
Mate, literally, it's one of those ones where it's like, I feel like I'm gonna go to the Sith Lord and go to the dark side.
It's them situations there. It's literally them ones.
It really, yeah.
It's them. But the
rage.
The funny thing of it is that I saw something online at first, and it said why Roxanne is the most hated person in Britain. I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, whatever. Like, surely not. Like, it can't be like it's just media again, just being like hiding.
They always say those headlines.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. And
someone says something like Maya, it's like most hated person in Britain. It's all right.
Yeah.
How do they poll this? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where do they get these statistics from?
Or like, has Piers Morgan just said it, and like everyone's like just ran with it because Piers Morgan says anything mad. But
yeah, literally, it's like someone said something. It's like who's big in media. It's like, well, better run with that then. Like, of course, they're the most hated person in the world.
Yeah, and I just thought to myself like, right, okay, cool. Didn't click on it, and then I heard loads of people talking about it, and I just couldn't avoid it. So I thought, you know what, I need to watch this thing to see what happens. So I asked someone at work, and I was like, what actually happened? And he was like, basically they're in the house, Roxanne and who's in Corrie, Emmerdale it was, wasn't it?
No, she was Emmerdale, yeah.
Roxanne, who was in Emmerdale, and Ryan, who was in Coronation Street. They're just like talking, joking, and they're like, we'll play fighting. And then she was running, and she ran until told her brother like he beat her up and shit. I was like, nah, surely not. Like, and I was thinking to myself, how rough must he had hit her? Had he hit her for her to like run and no one to say anything? I was thinking to myself, right, I need to see this clip for myself. So I asked him, and he's like, honestly, like it's nothing. So I watched it, and I was so confused. I was so confused. I was like, I just don't understand. I don't understand.
He literally must have. I don't even know if there was any physical contact. No. From the thing. I know. But if he did, he literally lightly tapped her.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like, I remember back in the day at school, like, how you would always be play fighting with girls like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, just tapping their arm or whatever. Mate, if her standard of physical violence was employed, you would literally be in prison for, like, multiple counts of battery, GBH. It was crazy, because he was literally just dancing around joking, like, lightly tapping her, and I felt like what she did was really calculated, because if you notice, she goes into like the bedroom.
Yeah.
And she's acting like, do you know how someone's, when they're away in thought, they kind of talk to themselves and just say things as if like they're not aware they're saying it?
Yeah.
I think she was using her acting skills to act like she wasn't aware of what she was saying. She was just saying things like, subconsciously, because she did her things like, ow, that really hurt, Ryan, and do you know what I mean, like when she was saying all that stuff in the bedroom. And so it almost to make it seem like she must be telling the truth, because it's not like she's actively trying to lie, if that makes sense.
Yeah, what like she's almost believing it, like she's convincing herself.
No. What I'm trying to say is she's acting like she's saying these things subconsciously, so she's not actively thinking about what she's saying. Like whenever you have those situations, I some people don't do it, but I've done it before, where I've been alone and I've not even been aware of that I've just said something. Like I might have just said something like out of the blue and not really thought it through. And I think that's how she was trying to act, like, oh, I'm alone now, and I'm just. She's basically voicing what she's thinking, if that makes sense.
But she must know she's not alone because she's got the cameras on her.
No, but that's the whole point. She's trying to make out that she's forgot that the cameras are kind of there,
like
and
she's
just
acting.
saying this to make it seem like, oh, he's done this terrible thing to me, and I must be telling the truth because I'm not trying to deceive anyone. I'm just saying this subconsciously, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's quite a hard thing to explain.
Get what you're saying? But she's saying it to herself, and she's trying to make out like she's saying it to herself, but she's really saying it for the benefits of the camera.
Yes, that's how I wanted to word it. Yeah, literally that. And I noticed what she was trying to do was ramp it up. So that was her like second step, and then the final step was to go to the diary room and be like, actually, this was really, really like this really affected me. He actually assaulted me, and to get like all of the sympathy that she desired. But yeah, she really calculated it through. I felt like. It just made no sense because when you see this footage to start with, she's clearly just like playing along with it, and then at the end of it, when she's in the diary room complaining about how he's beaten her or whatever, she suddenly switches to like crying and like she's distraught, right? She's like, I can't be in the same house with him. I can't be in this. I can't believe you're letting him stay here when he's done that to me. Do you know what I mean? That's what she said, right? So she's literally like switched this all on. She's not. It's not even. I don't think it was even the case of because she could be forgiven if she overreacted in a way. Not forgiven, but it's like it wouldn't be so bad if it was like she had kind of just overreacted to the situation. But you could clearly tell that this was all part of like a plot for her.
Yeah.
Because you don't suddenly switch from laughing and joking with someone to like, I don't know how long the gap was, but it wasn't very long, to suddenly going in a diary room and having a breakdown. It doesn't make sense. That's plotted out. That's calculated. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like if she had overreacted, her reaction would have been, as soon as he did that to her, she'd be like, oh my God, like, and she would have overreacted then. Do you see what I'm saying? She wouldn't have gone. She would have played along with it, and then suddenly had a breakdown later on.
That's why I'm so confused, because a part of me thinks she's a cold, calculated bitch, but then another part of me just thinks like, is she or is she just a retard? Because if you're gonna do that, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, if you're gonna do that, you'd get contact. You'd make sure he hit you, like. You get in close so he could like land like a jab, like not hard enough, but hard not too hard. But what I mean is like hard enough so there is some physical contact and you can hear a noise. So then she can blag it and be like, "Oh, that hurt," and then like really
what's so unbelievable about the situation is she did it knowing that there was cameras all around.
Yeah.
She must have known, like you would think any rational person would be like, you must have known you get caught out.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused. That's why I'm confused.
Do you know why I think that is though? Do you know why I think that is?
Why?
Is the reason why for me is that all these people are now coming out, and you don't know. Maybe you can't believe all their stories because sometimes people jump on a bandwagon. Do you know what I mean? So if someone's done something wrong, they'll be like, he did that to me or she did that to me as well. Do you know what I mean? When they didn't really do that, they're just trying to get attention.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I feel like a few of these stories that have come out about Roxanne from the past are probably people just trying to jump on the bandwagon and kind of get their 5 minutes of fame or whatever. But there has been a lot of accusations coming out of the woodwork now that she had done this kind of behaviour before.
Yeah.
And gotten away with it. So what I think happened was she's done this so many times throughout her life because, let's be honest, someone doesn't do something like this for the first time.
No.
There's been a long history of this, right?
Yeah.
And she's got away with this for the longest time because, let's be honest, she's an attractive woman. She's quite cute looking. She's quite... she's one of those women where just from looking at her, you could imagine some men being like, oh, she needs protecting. Do you know what I mean? So... I feel like she's got away with this kind of behaviour for the longest time because of her attractiveness and the way she appears very innocent. And she's kind of had a lot of maybe not so bright men wrapped around her little finger for the longest time.
Yeah.
But
feeding into his bullshit.
because she's been able to manipulate all these men, she thinks now she's smarter than she actually is. When in actuality, she's actually quite a dumb person.
Yeah.
And so, because she's got away with so much, she's now getting sloppy. Because I'm not saying she's as bad as these kind of people, because she's not. But take take serial killers, for example. Serial killers will start off being very, very meticulous with the crime scenes.
Yeah.
They'll make sure it's all cleaned up. They'll they'll literally go and make sure of everything that they've done, and they'll clear up like every
bit of evidence. Every bit of evidence.
Literally, every bit of evidence, they'll clean it up, right? Yeah. And but over time, they always get more and more sloppy until they eventually get caught, because they feel like, I've got away with it once, I've got away with it twice, I've got away with it 3 times, no one's ever going to catch me.
It's like getting lazy.
And I feel like that's her mentality as well. She's done it so many times and no one's ever caught her, that she's like, big brother, this is like the biggest gig I've had in a while.
Yes.
All the sympathy I can get from like acting like this guy's hit me, it's going to be great. Thinking in her head she's going to get away with it, when it's like, no, Roxanne, you're an idiot, because you've got all these cameras surrounding you. This time you're actually going to get caught out. And I imagine there must be a lot of men who've been falsely accused by her in the past, who must literally be feeling so happy that she's finally been caught out.
Do you know what? I put money on it. I put money on a nightclub situation where guys try to talk to her, and he's parred her or she's parred him. She's cried. And then she's gone to the bouncer. He's assaulted me, or he sexual harassment. Or he said something to me, and then they've gone in, and then the bouncer's like, what? And then removed the guys from the club. She's won, because again, pretty girl crying, bloke over there. He's obviously going to be the fucking. I think all the time, every time.
I think there's lots of things that anger me about this situation outside of Roxanne as well, which I want to come to in a second. I think I want to like rag on Roxanne a bit more before I do that. But
can't rag on her enough, man. Just
man, really. But what's unfortunate is that there's unfortunately that there's a lot of other women out there who are like that as well, which is quite scary when you think about it. But what would, because some people now are playing the card of like, people are bragging on her too much, and that she might not deserve this level of heat. What's your reaction to that kind of statement? Do you agree with it, or? No. Okay.
It's soft, man. It's soft. It's people being like, oh no, give her a break. I'm like, okay, cool. So let's flip the script here, and let's say he did punch Roxanne, and it did hurt.
Yeah.
And then obviously I can say Jason, because that's who he was in Corey. Ryan is like Ryan's the most hated person in Britain now. Okay, then, so are you?
And no one will be claiming like, leave Ryan alone. Leave Ryan alone.
No way in hell will people be like.
And I'm gonna say something that might be a bit. Carry on, mate.
And I'm not saying I'm just gonna say quickly. I'm not saying that the two are the same. I'm not saying obviously you hit a woman, you like you do a fucking Chris Brown Rihanna on her. Okay, cool. That's a really fucking like psycho move there. That's bad. And it's inexcusable, them actions and behaviour. So why is Chris Brown, he's being shunned and he's been labelled a woman beater, whereas Roxanne tries to get Jason the same situation as Chris Brown. She's trying to ineffectively label him the same as what he's done, ruining his career. But oh no, we can't say anything to Roxanne. We need to leave her alone now. We need to go easy. And she potentially crushed and ruined someone's life. Like, could have ended his career over lies and also like making fun of women that are in those situations, that really really bad situations. You just made light and made a fucking like you made a mockery of it.
Because any right-minded person hates a guy who like hits women and does all of that, right?
Yeah.
And or if they don't hate the guy who does it, they at least hate the actions that he's done, right?
Yeah.
I want to say something slightly, well, very controversial to some people. It's not controversial to me, but what she did to me was worse than if he had actually just, say, punched her in the face. Because if he had punched her in the face, that's traumatic for her. That's obviously a horrible thing to do. But the long-term implications of him punching her in the face wouldn't be as bad as what the long-term implications would have been for him had these allegations stuck.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because he would have lost his whole career. He would have been labelled a monster, and you know what I mean. And the worst part for him is that it's one thing to be guilty of a crime, but it's another thing to be innocent of it and be acted like and to be treated like you are guilty. That's horrible. Imagine the feeling of, because at least in the case of Chris Brown, he can go, I did really mess up. I really fucked up there. And he can kind of go,
and he's open.
He can kind of accept the punishment he gets.
Yeah.
But how can you accept the punishment when you're like, I never did this? It's got to be maddening. Do you know what I mean? Right. So yeah, I do think what she did was, I don't know, about as low as you can go. You know what I mean? Sick. Like really bad. It's fucking sick. And I'm not trying to even make light of a guy hitting a woman. That's terrible. But what she did for me was even worse. But because I know that'll ruffle some feathers.
No, it's not gonna ruffle. Well, do you know what? If it does, it does. But the thing is, what annoys me is the fact that what you said was correct. Say if Jason did, fucking hell, I've done it again. Say if Ryan did,
mate, just call him. People know what you're saying. Yeah, with Jason.
Yeah.
Ryan,
Jason Man.
You know what I mean?
I was with Jason Manford. No, Jason fucking comedian. No, but say if Ryan like hit someone in the face, yeah. Say if he hit her in the face. It's kind of like he knew what he was doing. He paid the price. Cool. It's like whatever. Like he's a bad guy. He's a woman beater. That's it. Like his career's fucked. But he knew what he was walking into there. Whereas he's being innocently accused, for no reason, like just for malice, for insanity, for just pure, just fucking unlawful nature of this stupid girl, and I just feel like it's so unfair because again we're going back to this whole men and women aren't equal sort of thing, and it's just like so he can play fight with her, and then obviously she could run to the diary room crying and blame domestic violence, and think that's how easy it is, and that power is again is highlighted. It's highlighted again that that some women are out there doing things like that, getting away with it, and it's just for me it kind of just brought up to the forefront of my mind. It just made me sick because you saw how crushed Ryan was, and like a lot of people will take the piss out of him and go like, why is he crying for and all this and that? I'm thinking
because his whole career
he doesn't know what is going on outside. He doesn't know what on earth is going on outside. He potentially thinks the whole public are watching and are hating him. So that's why his mind is doing fucking loops.
Anyone who kind of has a go at him for crying or whatever, it's this is someone who's an actor. That's his whole that's his dream career, and he might see that potentially flush down the toilet. So, I mean, I think we live in a day and age where men should be able to show their emotions more in general. Anyway, so people who criticize him for doing that, they're just dickheads to me anyway. But I don't know, man. I feel like what pissed me off was the way that the whole situation was handled in terms of Big Brother, where they basically acted like when Ryan was called in, they basically treated him like he was a condemned man. Do you know what I mean? And it was like almost acting like, oh, you're guilty. And the housemates and the way they reacted to him, I don't know who that guy was. I don't know the name of. There's a guy in the house one with the tattoos, like the bigger guy, Yeah, and he was like the white knight in this situation. Yeah. And he automatically just stood up for Roxanne and berated Ryan without any like indication that Ryan was actually guilty. In his head, it's like he's been accused, so he's guilty, and it's like, you shouldn't have done that, mate. You shouldn't have done that. And he's like, I didn't fucking do it. Like, so why are you? Do you know what I mean? Like, why are you acting like I have? And men like that they just need to chill the fuck out, to be honest with you, because don't just take a woman's word for it that this guy's guilty. You know what I mean? It's like he's been accused doesn't mean that's not the same thing as being guilty. And I feel like guys like that think with their penis first. They go, "Oh, she's hot. She's paying me attention, so therefore I'm gonna back her."
And she's crying, she's crying, damsel in distress, like innocent.
But it's like, don't just automatically assume. Do you know what I mean? That somewhere it needs to stop where it extends beyond this. But I think the social media age has really compounded a problem where everyone's guilty until proven innocent, rather than innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
And in a lot of situations, they can never fully prove their innocence. So, in the case of Ryan, had those cameras not been there, he could have said, "But I'm not guilty, but I'm not guilty," and everyone would be like, "Yeah, but you are guilty. You're guilty. She accused you. So she must be like telling the truth." And it's like, where does this come from? Do you know what I mean? This notion, like, we're meant to live in a society where you're given a fair trial before you're condemned. But no, or found guilty. But now it's like, nope, you're guilty already. It's crazy. Like, I do believe the majority of women are telling the truth when they've been hit or whatever the allegation, sexual, physical violence. The majority of women do tell the truth because, let's be honest, most people are decent and they don't lie about things like that. But out of 100 women, there's always going to be that minority of women who are lying because they're just fucked up individuals. So you can't just because the majority are telling the truth, you can't just say, "Oh, because the majority are telling the truth, that means we can condemn this person," because there's a minority out there who are like Roxanne, who just make shit up. So yeah, I think the whole reaction to the situation pissed me off nearly as much as what she did in a way. Although the reaction was pretty predictable. I was expecting that kind of reaction, unfortunately.
You were expecting her reaction? You expected her to act like that? I
wasn't. No. What I'm trying to say is I was expecting the reaction that Big Brother gave and that guy gave. I just thought that's a standard reaction these days. A guy's accused and he's treated like a villain already.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So the way Big Brother were treating Ryan, the way the other contestants were treating Ryan, I was like, well, that's just standard behaviour these days, unfortunately. It pissed me off, but I wasn't surprised by it. I was surprised by her behaviour, definitely, because I thought it's so idiotic as well as being so callous. I expect people to be callous and cruel, but to be so stupid and to think you would get away with that, that was the thing that shocked me the most. I was like, really?
That's
this
what,
is on camera.
And the thing
like,
is, what? The reason I was going mad is because I'm like watching this shit, and then like I'm thinking everyone's eating this shit up. Like there were people in the room when that happened. There's cameras on her, and like still it managed to get dragged out that far. I was like, this is actually nuts. This was one of them fucking Game of Thrones moments where you're like, are they really going through with this shit? Like no one's saying a thing. Like. And Big Brother kind of pissed me off, and like White Knight pissed me off. But when he saw what happened, yeah, he kind of seckled and he was like, "Yeah, to be fair, I feel like a dickhead now. Like I can't believe she's paid us all like that." He felt like a mug, and I don't think she's got enough sort of punishment. I don't think she's been told off enough because I don't feel like she's fully got it. I don't think she's fully got it. I feel like she's got an agent or a PA, and her agent has basically told her what to say and told her how she needs to act and how she needs to behave if she wants to protect her what she's got left, the little she's got left of her image. I don't think that's coming from her.
I think she's a full-blown psychopath, so I don't think you could ever teach her the error of her ways.
That's what I'm saying, because if you're going to make them moves in the first place...
If you're willing to do that to someone, yeah, who's done nothing to you, it's one thing to do something cruel to someone who's done something cruel to you. It's another thing to do something cruel to someone who's not done anything to you. So that, to me, just shows that she's a psycho. because of all the other allegations as well, the fact that she's a compulsive liar, the fact that she doesn't care whose lives she ruins, they're all traits of psychopathy. So I think she is a psychopath. She's one of those few individuals who just falls in that bracket of just a full-blown psychopath. And those kind of people, they can't be taught the error of their ways because they don't have compassion for other people. You can't teach compassion for other people. So she may be more wary going forward in terms of making these sort of allegations because she knows what the consequences are now. But
it won't.
I don't think she'll ever morally understand why it was wrong.
Nah, and I feel like it's just an example. It's just an example of a situation what to avoid. But she's gonna get put in a situation completely different and make the same irrational fucking decision as she did before in that one there. And then it's just, and then again we're gonna have another like scandal, another fucking. I just don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that,
well,
I'm so mad about the situation. Like.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of back in the day when we both knew a girl from school who kind of fit her profile. But with Roxanne, what makes her even more dangerous is how pretty she is. Yeah. Because when you've got those combination of personality traits, a lack of empathy, compulsive lying, and then you have a beautiful woman, a lot of men who are dumb and maybe a bit shallow, they really fall for her traps. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's like all I would say is that men need to be more wary.
Okay, yeah. So like a lesson.
Women in general,
yeah. Because like what I've kind of when she first came out about all this and everyone's kicking off, I said to myself, I hope she learns a lesson. I hope she changes. I hope she becomes a better person. Yeah. But I'm thinking to myself, nah. The real fight, the real lesson that needs to be learned is on our side here. It's on the men's side. It's on the girls' side. It's on the side of people that can understand like bookie behavior and stupid fucking movements and go, no, say no to that. I'm going to stay away from this person and I'm going to surround myself with people that don't think like that and are moving in the same direction that I'm moving in my life, because I feel once that happens, then those people will only have themselves to hang around and be around, and we can kind of together and collectively kind of go, nah, you stay over there, we'll stay over here, and we can live our lives normally and you live your life spookily, and if you're willing to change, but we're always going to be keeping you at arm's length because you're never going to be fully like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, people give people I noticed this with girls and guys, where what they'll do is say a girl, there'll be a girl who will be going out with a guy for years and the guy will keep cheating on them, keep treating them like a dickhead, and they'll always be like giving them second chances. I'm like, no, have more respect for yourself and realize that you don't need to put up with that kind of behavior, because if someone willingly keeps doing that to you, they don't care about you. They don't respect you as a person. So why put up with it? Because if they do it to you once, and I'm talking about any sort of disrespect, like it doesn't have to be just cheating, but if someone, man or woman, shows you a complete lack of respect and doesn't care if they hurt you, as soon as you notice that kind of behavior, cut them off, because they're never gonna not do that to you. That's the thing, and people need to get more in control of their feelings. Don't come and be like, oh, but I love him or I love her and all of this. It's like, don't say that, because that doesn't stop a situation from being toxic. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like Roxanne has probably damaged a lot of guys in her life who probably could have sustained a lot less damage from her had they cut her off sooner. Do you see what I mean? But they stayed around and they probably did the whole thing of like, but I love her. She's funny. She's cute, and it's like.
Or
She's taking you for a ride as well.
Yeah, or forget the love situation. They've probably just seen her and thought like, right, like she's buff. But I always say, do you know what? Yeah, there are so many.
There's a lot of attractive people in the world. Like, calm down.
And I feel like it's not like when you weigh it up, you're thinking like weirdness, fucking like psycho behavior compared to like just being buff. I'm thinking it doesn't weigh up. Like, I'm not gonna put myself through that mental stress to fucking get with that girl when I know like I'm gonna get
just because she's attractive.
Just because she's attractive, and I know I'm gonna get a whole lot of problems. You just need to kind of just cut your losses and be like, it is what it is. Not for me, man. I'm not putting myself through that mental stress. It's not worth it at the end of the day. Always think your health is more important than anyone else. Your health is important, and don't put yourself through that mental stress and strain just for a girl. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not worth
because when they destroy your mental health, which can then destroy your physical health, you won't be able to easily get that back. So don't just let them do that to you.
That's an internal struggle, man. You don't want to be going.
Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not worth it.
That's what I've got to say on the Roxanne.
Mate, I feel like we've condemned her. But if there's anything more that you want to say on the topic,
nah, that's essentially it. Like, it is what it is. Like,
yeah. All right, guys.
Just is what it is. Like,
literally, the rage is still fueling me, but I feel like I've covered what I kind of wanted to say.
Because I just want to say quickly, nah, I'm not having it. But I just feel like, nah, allow my boy Chris Breezy. Okay, cool, yeah, he done something mad, yeah. Like, I understand it, cool. It's been like, what, over 10 years now, and people are still hating him, calling him a woman beater and shit, and he's actually making some bangers every now and again. And I think to myself, let him just come back in this fucking country. Do you know what I mean? When then Roxanne does something, and people are quick to be like, oh, no, leave it now. She's had enough. I want her to be condemned. I want her in the same situation. I want her in the same boat as Chris Brown. Do you know what I mean? Chris Brown's paid his price and shit, even though he's a booker sometimes. But still, like...
all right. I don't fully agree with you on the Chris Brown one, but I want to talk about that at some point. So
I'm messing. But yeah.
No, because I think that needs to be talked about anyway. So literally, I will talk to you on that one because that one's an interesting one, and I have some agreement.
Because I don't, you know,
it's one of those ones. What you said, I feel like we need to delve into deeper in a next podcast, because I don't fully agree with you, but I don't fully disagree with you. I've got a lot of agreement with you, but I feel like I want us to have a more nuanced chat on that. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it today. It's a bit of a mad one. Hope you have a good day, and make sure to check the description below. You can follow us on various different social media platforms. Okay, cool.
Sound.